Hey, what's up, everybody? We just finished watching Married at First Sight, so here is our review for tonight's episode. I don't remember, it's 7 or 8. I'll put it in the description, or the title.
Yep. Once again, like last time, I'm William.
And I'm Tamar.
And tonight we have so much to say. Let's get started.
I don't know about so much to say.
I do. I have a lot
I think
to say.
if I gave this episode a rating, I would give it like a B plus, A minus. But okay, let's go.
Let's start from the. You want to start from the best couple again? I mean, the one everybody.
Not the best couple, the atrocious couple that we won't see ever again. So, all right. So Chris and Paige. So I feel like, okay, let's dismantle this and break it down. And
yeah.
Okay, so Chris first met up with his pastor and his friend Mikkel, or his pastor's friend, or whatever the case was. So they met up with them, and the pastor basically was like, this is embarrassing, because remember, the pastor put his name on the line. He filmed in his church. He married those two. Chris's parents live in Chicago. In the middle of a pandemic, they went all the way to Atlanta. So the whole situation, it makes the pastor look bad. Now people are looking at the pastor and what the pastor does, because now Chris comes from his church, and is this the kind of people you produce in your church? Because I already heard rumors online about how the pastor has been talked about online, but way before Married at First Sight and on some other crazy stuff. And so now it puts everybody into question, puts their church into question. And so, and the pastor was like, you have a diamond.
I thought in this moment, I was like, yes.
Finally somebody held him accountable.
People are going to hold him accountable. He's going to be respectful. He's not going to say nothing else. And I was disappointed.
Why were you disappointed?
Because, number one, you see how silent it got? It really got, like, everybody, they was just sitting there like this.
Well, I think they were on camera, so they couldn't really react how they wanted to, but I think the pastor was embarrassed because of all those things that I was telling you. And also, they couldn't, it's really ridiculous. Remember, his ex-fiance and him were only together for 3 months before he proposed to her. So that's why the pastor said Chris needs to learn how to commit. Also,
I thought that was really great. And even the pastor, he was careful how he worded that, because
he didn't want to hurt his feelings.
He must knew, and then based on his experience it looked like it passed. Chris goes into these, like, when he have these little fits, where no one can tell him anything or hold him accountable. And that goes back to what we've been saying all along. I feel like his whole life he has gotten away, or his parents haven't been there to give him that attention he's been seeking, because it's showing everywhere.
Yeah, and I also think that Chris is very rude. Very rude. His pastor and the friend, or I don't know if he was an associate minister, I don't know what it was talking to him, and when he saw he wasn't the victim, all of a sudden Chris was just playing in his phone, ignoring them, not even listening to anything. That was so rude. And he also did that when his ex-fiance and Paige met up. When he was over,
whoa, don't go to that yet. We're gonna get there.
I know, but okay. But I'm just saying, he's just so rude. If people are not giving him attention, if he's not the victim, just like when they were in Vegas and everybody said, Paige, we're here for you, and this little boy goes and runs and starts crying, oh, it's so hard for me, please. But yeah, so let's move on to the scene.
Yeah, let's go to the scene.
So, as I stated last week, online reports say that the real reason why Chris and his fiance broke up was because supposedly he got his ex-fiance's cousin pregnant. And I mean, the girl said she was 7 weeks pregnant, so that's almost about 2 months pregnant. And she didn't look pregnant, which is fine. Some people don't show that early. And like I also showed last week, and I'll show it again. She and Chris were in Mexico last week, and she also wasn't pregnant. And this show started filming not that long ago. Like I said, according to other couples that have been on the show, when this show starts airing, or they start showing commercials and ads for the show, that's when they're making their decisions. So she should still be pregnant.
Like,
oh, I was gonna say something, but I could have talked a lot, so I'll let you.
Go ahead. No, it's okay. I just wanted to point out the fact that, you know, she said she was 7 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to be so quick to judge because I don't know how a woman is supposed to look at 7 weeks.
But also, I was gonna say the vibe. I'm a really good judge of character. I don't like to judge people, but I'm really good. Like I'm really good at catching vibes. And my thing is, like, other rumors and stuff that's been out there, that she was on it. Like, to me, she wasn't sincere, meaning she wasn't mean to Paige at all. But the fact that her and Chris are still together, something about the whole situation was very off, and she seemed like she was in on it.
I felt, yeah.
Something was off.
Yeah, I felt in that moment, number one, she was very much in control of the situation. Chris, I don't know what it is, but she has Chris like literally like wrapped around her fingers. And first of all, let's go a little bit to the conversation between the two women. I think Paige, she handled herself with class.
She did.
In that moment, it was sort of 2 against 1. She didn't know how this lady would act.
Yeah, she did.
Or behave, Did you want to say something?
I did. I knew there was something else I wanted to say. In the picture that I'm posting of her right here, she said tremendous losses, so I do want to be sensitive to the fact that, let's say, because rumors are rumors, you don't know what is, especially with what is true and what is not, and especially with Chris, you don't know what it is. And maybe to save face, she was willing to go on TV to say that she was pregnant to protect her cousin, or to make Chris not look so bad, or Chris, the situation. But in her Facebook post, she did say she had tremendous losses, so she might have been pregnant and had a miscarriage. So I do want to be sensitive to the fact that, let's say that, the rumors of...
You want to give her the benefit of the doubt.
I want to give her the benefit of the doubt that maybe she was pregnant and she had a miscarriage, and that is something painful to go through. So I do want to say that.
So, yeah. So back to the scene when they were sitting there. Besides Chris being wrapped around her fingers, I thought Paige handled that conversation very well. And she was speaking her truth very respectfully. And I didn't like his ex, Mercedes. What's her name? I don't like how she kind of even pressured Paige. To me, I don't know if it's the way they cut it, but I felt as though like Paige was even pressured to really say, "No, I'm not pregnant." Because if you notice the looks, she's like, "Oh, really? Oh, you know anything about this, Chris?" She didn't ask that question, but it's the way she looked at him like, "Oh, so are you pregnant?"
So what I got from that is that those two probably never stopped having sex, and I feel like they probably, when he went to Chicago, he was sleeping with her and probably didn't mention, probably had unprotected sex with her, and then also had unprotected sex with Paige. That means within the same week he had unprotected sex with 2 women, and so that's probably why she had that look. But
yeah, and let me just say this and be clear. And Chris, I want you to know, if you are watching this, Chris, the way you stood up this black woman on national TV and treated her. First of all, he mistreated her. He disrespected her. you every name
very
in the book.
Shallow. He even told the pastor he felt like she was unattractive.
Yeah, like it's like he didn't get his way, and he decided to say she was disrespecting him. He tried to turn the tables, but Chris, you need to get it together, man. Like, something is really wrong with you. I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt, Chris. Yeah, I want Chris to see this. Chris needs to know that was very disrespectful what you did. You need to get it together, man. Go get some help.
He needs some mental help.
Yes.
Help. He needs psychiatric help.
Help. Like, help. Help.
Why?
Okay, but look, you get the point. Mm-hmm. So, look. I think, I felt bad, because in those moments, she was just sitting there, staring at the camera, he put himself in a situation, the two ladies are just sitting there, and like, nothing to say, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I was like, what was the point of bringing them together? I didn't get that. Like, why bring them together? Just to talk, I didn't get that part,
I didn't get it either. I think he was trying to make his character look good.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to show that it was legit. That's why I said I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt that maybe she really was pregnant. And like I said on Facebook for her birthday post last week, she did say she had tremendous losses. So maybe.
But for him to say, this is me, I don't want to mislead you,
That's a damn lie, because he was lying in her ear last week.
Exactly. And he was doing it right at that moment. Like, I don't want to mislead you. Chris, we're all watching the same show.
That's why I really feel like he needs psychiatric help.
Yeah, he needs some.
He needs help. I'm happy Paige seemed to get out of it, but then they're meeting next week, and Chris is giving some cockamanian story in the previews about I'm scared that I'm gonna fall. That's some BS.
I can't wait till next week because I'm gonna tear Chris.
They're dragging this on, and honestly, I feel like the show needs to just pay Paige a good amount of money, and then they also need to do a redo. And have and match her up with somebody that's good. Also, it was said that Chris was casted. So on how, doing research on the show, how I'm seeing how they get cast members of the show is they have ads out whenever they're in their city. Hey, do you want to get married at first sight? And then they also cast people as someone that's auditioned for reality shows, been in acting and stuff like that. I know how that works. Like, they'll put it out on like Backstage or they find real people. So I'm thinking that like the show can do that again. They could find someone for Paige. If that's the best that they could find, I'm pretty sure there's some really good guys that would be able to match Paige, and they need to give her a redo. Or years back, because I've been watching the show for a long time, they did have a summer series on a girl that had a redo in Married at First Sight.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they did. And they also had like Married at First Sight, like in Paradise or something like that. Like, so they can do it. They can do it. Paige needs a redo because, like she said, she was robbed. She was absolutely robbed. But they didn't really focus that much on them this episode.
It was a little bouncy.
So, alright, so, and also the show needs to stop doing this 5-couple thing.
Mm-hmm. We spoke about that last time.
Yeah, they need to stop with the 5-couple. Okay, so honestly, let's go to Brianna and Vincent. So the reason why I'm going to do Brianna and Vincent is because the other three are very boring, and they'll be quick. Mm-hmm. Brianna and Vincent, so how I feel. Okay, so one thing I did want to bring up. So culturally, me and Vincent are from the same island. Both Brianna and Will are both African American. So when they were talking about culturally, is there any differences when Vincent was talking to his friend? I don't think Brianna's attitude is a thing of necessarily culture, because Will is a lot like Vincent, and I'm a lot like Brianna, and so I think that I mentioned this last week, but I believe that it's not a cultural thing. It's more so a is more so like a thing of trauma that not Chris, what's his name again? Vincent. It's more so a trauma thing that Vincent has been through. His ex-girlfriend left him because he wouldn't get a 9 to 5. He's had to prove he wasn't raised by his parents. He was raised by his aunt. His whole life he has been proving to people that he can be somebody, and so any little thing that somebody tells him, that is to the point of you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not this, he's going to be set off by it, and he's not going to look at the whole situation. He's going to look at himself as the victim. I know that because I'm with someone who has a personality and was raised very similar to Vincent. So I think it's not more so of like a culture like where our families countries, our families originate from kind of culture thing, but a culture of how they were raised, the trauma that they've been through.
I kind of want to jump back to the scene, because last week it ended with Vincent, storming off the scene, upset, and as you just said, there's many times like I remove myself from the situation, but I like how Vincent came back. I thought what will happen is from what we've seen in the past, where the guy leaves for a whole day or 2 days, and next thing you know, you see the camera of her by herself.
There's so much alike. He did what he would do. He didn't even make it past the garage. That's definitely something he would do. And that's a good sign, because me and Will have been together for over a decade. So
yeah, and I think he just wanted a little space. He just wanted to breathe. He walked it off, obviously, and she was able to explain her intentions.
Yeah.
It wasn't to make him feel the way he felt. So I think going forward, it's good that they communicated that, because he will be able to now sort of understand and distinguish certain moods and when she's swinging. But I can understand how he may feel that way, or sometimes she'll say a word or something because he feels because her family already planted the seed in his mind that she's controlling and bossy. No matter what she does, he's automatically gonna think that at first, instead of trying to, and I could be wrong, but instead of trying to, like you said, let it play out first, don't automatically get offended. Don't get upset if she talks. If she's she would say something that's annoying, why we on our phones, because she talked about it last time, how she wanted him to get off his phone. So I can see little subliminals her thrown in there, but I also feel like there will be a point where she has to put her foot down and let him know, listen, stop with the crying, like
I do with you.
No, stop with the crying. I'm not trying to hurt you. You know what I mean? I haven't said anything disrespectful, but
I think she kind of tried to in a nice way.
Yeah. No, but that's what I mean. I felt like in those moments, yes, she was, I felt like she should have been more a little bit. I wanted to see a little bit more
she's a sweet girl. She has to be pushed to her limit. I think she was just trying to understand why he would react the way he did. But this couple, they're for sure going to last. I think sometimes also producers make stuff look more dramatic than what it appears.
Yep.
So I think they're fine. They're going to last. But it's just communication, but it's not even a communication thing. It's something where I feel like it's more of where Vincent needs therapy, kind of thing. It's more so he has to work out things on his own. The issue, those type of issues is something that he has to work out on his own. It's not Brianna he's mad at.
The way I grew up in an environment where respect was the highest thing. And I want to say,
you grew up in the Bronx. Vincent, when he first came to the United States, he lived in the Bronx because in the episode before, he mentioned that when he used to live in the Bronx and walk with his mother. So you guys grew up very similar.
When you grow up in communities like that, and based on, history of like oppression and, all this stuff that has went on, there's like a respect thing, especially when it comes to men, and sometimes that's why you see certain type of behaviors, because it's like, that's just one of the main things that growing up that haunts you. Like, you just can't let things slide or pass. Like, you have to address the respect thing right away.
Because you don't want to be punk.
You don't want to be a punk. You don't want to come off as, like, weak. Mm-hmm. You want to be, you want to... And I think in these situations, he's trying to tell her, I'm not weak. I'm not a punk. I'm strong. And she's not even... And he's not...
She's not even thinking about that. Like, he said he was in his head.
Yep. So I think... that's pretty much it, though. So
all right. So next couple, like Virginia I said, Virginia and Eric. All right,
to me they're like the next fun one in a way.
Yeah, like honestly.
So Virginia told her friends about Eric. Like she told them, which I don't know in that situation if I would have been so quick to tell my friends how my spouse is.
I don't know if she told her friends or. Remember, after they got married, the day after they got married, what's his name?
Yeah.
Eric spoke to her father, and her father said she does not like to be controlled. So I think even before she got married, that was also mentioned.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she told her friends or this is something that, and she even told Eric she doesn't like to be controlled. So I think.
I think like whatever happened in her past, obviously it's playing into the marriage, because that's been the number one thing, and it seems like her scapegoat is her world of her friends
and alcohol, and
all her friends know this about her. Mm-hmm. And that's her way of like escaping reality, because she goes back. It seems like whenever she's being another one like Chris. Whenever she's being held accountable for something, she goes back into that world of I don't like being told this.
I don't like to be told what to do. Yeah. I want to drink. I want to party. I want to do this. And like I said, she's 26. She's not 20 years old. She's not a freshman in college. She's not. So I'm sorry, but that's a lame excuse to say that, oh, I'm young. At 26, I wasn't doing that. I know a whole lot of people who weren't. That is who she is. And I think even Eric even said that. Like at one point you have to hold yourself accountable and stop, because what are you gonna say when you're 36? Are you gonna use that same excuse? No, come on.
And I think Eric, he's really doing a good job of trying to talk through like every situation. You know what I mean?
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was gonna say that, like I said, Eric, I know that him and Virginia can really work out, because my stepfather is a pilot, and like I said, I understand the pilot world. I understand their personalities. I understand pilots do drink a lot. So I don't think it's more so. I don't think it's a problem that she drinks, but it's in how she does it. And also they're very adaptable people. Pilots, they have to adapt. They're always in a new environment, and they're also very funny.
And I think one of Eric's concerns may be, so suppose I'm out there flying, I don't know what my wife is doing.
Exactly, because pilots work 12 days on, 6 days off, if I remember.
And she's basically saying, oh, trust me. I'm sorry, Virginia, but it's hard to trust you at this moment. Trust me, he's gonna trust you, but also you gotta give him a little bit, like at least show him you respect the fact, or at least respect the marriage. Just be like, okay, I understand. You go out with your friends. You know what? Come home that night. Come home that night. You may get a chance to spend the night in the future, but he don't know them yet. And I felt like it was a setup. When the guy pulled him outside, and wanted to speak to him, because the first thing he said was, she don't like to be controlled. And I thought he did a very good job of, even talking to her friend, and he was like, thank you for telling me this. This makes me feel good. He's like, yeah, this is what you wanted, right? And I can see the friends telling Virginia, oh, don't worry, we got it. Don't worry, we'll take care of him. We got your back.
But my thing is, she's married. When you're married, you cannot be living like you're single. And if you still want that lifestyle, then don't sign up for a show to get married. I do feel like maybe she was genuine, or maybe she was drunk one day and was like, let me just sign up for the show. That would be so cool. Like, and then she got picked up.
I can see her really like saying, guys, I'm gonna give this a try. But she went in with the mindset of, I can still do what I'm doing and be married. I want to find someone who's going to love me with my lifestyle. And she wasn't willing to love someone, to me, in their lifestyle. Because if she did, she would respect the fact of what he's asking for. At least respect the marriage.
She doesn't have maturity. And we spoke about this last week. I feel like she does not have the maturity, but I feel like Eric can bring that maturity out of her.
Yeah, they both can bring something out of each other, which is awesome.
She can help break him out of his shell, because he's acting like he's much older than her. I mean, it's not... I mean, their age difference is 8 years, so it's a little bit more than ours, but it's not 10 years plus. You know what I mean? He does have some old man ways about him. So yeah, but anyway, next couple.
Haley and Jacob, or you want to do the other one? And then the other one is the boringest.
Yeah, I'll do Haley and Jacob. So I think, like I've been saying about Haley, I feel like she doesn't have a mind of her own, kind of thing. So like, her friends have to approve something, and if her friends say something's cool, then she's like, oh, okay, I'll do it. And the same way, she was like, her friends got married. All her friends were getting married, and she hasn't had a man since high school, so let me go on the show and find the quickest way to get married so I can be married just like my friends,
I think she got a little bit more clarity, though, with the episode that they showed from his family. I think she needed to hear that. That's how he was, because it, from what you can tell, it sort of gave her an understanding. And I actually see this couple getting better. Yes, they're gonna have some fights, maybe some bad ones, but I see them as a couple from like the old show. I think they was up here, but it's one of the
Jamie and Beth.
It could be. It was one of those couples. But
I don't know if they'll... right now, I'm like 50-50 with them surviving. I'm 50-50. Because she's stuck in her ways. She hasn't had a man since she was a teenager. She hasn't... I don't think she has even dated. She's been traveling the world. She's like Virginia without being a drunk.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see the she has a little life in her. He's still kind of like talks a lot, even when he's talking to her friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's definitely gives those vibes. Those people that
can
people
be
hide.
Annoying.
That's a little annoying, and you see them like, oh gosh, and you hide.
You don't think she's gonna be like that with her husband?
She did that at their honeymoon. She lied and said she was hanging out with the girls.
Oh, she did run.
She did.
Like, oh,
everybody
man,
knows. Everybody knows, and if you don't know this person, it's probably you.
But you run from me sometimes. You say I'm annoying.
Yeah, you are, but you're not one of those people.
So maybe it's not a bad
from.
thing,
No, those. Okay, so everybody knows. Everybody has like one person that's just like
that you just don't feel like talking to because they're not gonna stop.
They're a little weird. Yes, exactly. And it's like, and it's just like, oh God. Either you know this person, and if you don't know, it's you. But yeah, I feel really bad because he really genuinely is trying. Like, I love when he said like 2 episodes ago, Pastor Cal said, so he's really taking this to heart. But I don't know if she is.
Yep. So let's move on. Ryan and Clara. Yes. Last one. Okay, so I'll start this one. Okay, I am getting sick and tired of being sick and tired and being sick and tired of these two not really showing any personality or anything. Show some type of emotion. Like, I understand this is a show about love, but I still feel like they're not even showing love.
Okay, so I think those two will last with each other because they are just boring. They're not trying to put on for the cameras. However, they are very boring. No personality from what we see on camera. But I also, you have to understand, this is a season where you have crazy Chris. Yeah. So, but I do think they probably have their own stuff, but they keep it off camera. Mm-hmm. I will say that, you know, they need to show emotion. You know, Ryan's taking things slow. Mm-hmm. So
I feel like there's something brewing up. There's something brewing inside, and I feel like it's gonna show. And when it shows, we're all gonna be like, that happened.
You think so? But I still think they're gonna last.
Either that
I
happened
think they're
in
gonna
a
last
good or a bad way. But I think like there's gonna be a lot of, because I feel like Clara is holding back feelings, and as you can see for the sneak peek of next week,
I think Ryan
she finally says something slick. Mm-hmm. And I think Ryan is going to hold and then release.
Okay, so another couple that is like us on the show is Clara and Ryan. So the reason why I would say that is because Clara is more like, I'm going to pounce on them. I'm woman, hear me raw. And Ryan is really laid back. He's cool. He's sweet little, you know, short guy. So nice. He takes his time with everything. Takes his time with kissing her. Takes his time with having sex. And Clara is just like ready to pounce on him. And from that perspective, like you were saying, just knowing how I am and situations that he and I have been through, she will snap, because there comes a time where when you something's gotta, sorry, my nails keep getting stuck in my hair. Something's gotta give, where, you know, you can't be the only one that's like, you know, you want, when you're an alpha person, sometimes you do need your partner to show a glimpse of being an alpha. Not all the time, because then two alphas is not. But like somehow just kind of communicate and have a personality and kind of something.
Yeah, I'm gonna need those two to show me a little bit more something. And I think next week we get a little bit glimpse of that.
Yeah.
So.
And like I said, this all could just be covered by Crazy Chris. Is like, when you have a couple that's that extreme, this is why this 5-couple thing needs to stop. Married at First Sight, stop doing this.
I disagree.
Stop. It's terrible. This five couple thing needs to stop, because the thing is that one couple, you have such an extreme with this one crazy couple, just like there was such an extreme all the others for seasons where there was 5 couples, and then it makes, like,
honestly, for someone
big, like, situations and like normal couple situations that would be big if a crazy couple wasn't on there.
For someone who just got into shows like this, I think
you've been watching these shows for years.
Yeah, but you know, I don't really like stuff like this. I'm not gonna just go on my own and just be like, oh, let me watch this love show. You know, don't do that for the camera. She's trying to say that when I'm not around, when she's not around, I go and turn on one of these love shows. No, stop it. I don't. What I'm saying is, like she started me off with like Love and Hip Hop, the reality shows. So I want a little bit drama, you know, keep it coming. Yes, let it be about love, but show some real emotion at least, you know, make it entertaining, but be your real self.
No, but this is their life. This is their marriage. So if they're a boring couple, they're a boring couple. I would rather them be a boring couple and love and show love and be together forever than to make a caricature of themselves for television and miss out on a good thing. Because at the end of the day, the reason why I like this show, at first I didn't watch the first season of the show because I felt like it was such like a diss to marriage. I'm like, what kind of craziness is this?
Yeah.
And then I got years back, I don't remember the season, I got into the show and I was like, this is a really good show. And what made me love this show and take away my judgments was the fact that I saw people that were really in love with each other. I saw real couples. And I would hate for the show to become the stereotype of what, or the preconceived notions of what people think it is for ratings. Mm-hmm. When there's 12 couples that are still married to each other, children that are born from this show. So I would hate for that legacy. I would hate for Dr. Pepper, who is a professor, Pastor Cal, who is a pastor. I would hate for Dr. Viviana, who is also a professional. I would hate for their stuff to kind of hit the tank because this show won on ratings.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I agree with you to an extent. I would rather more entertainment, but at the end of the day, if it's gonna be about love, I blame the producers as well in the way they cut stuff. Maybe they can do a better job at that, but I think they also want to show some of the real stuff that happens. Like, love is not just gonna always be a smooth ocean floor. They have to show.
But the whole point is yes, I understand that, but the experts are called the experts for a reason. They're supposed to, like, a Chris should not have even.
I don't care how
Chris should have been. They should have thrown out his application. Everybody knew. Like, even the producers, when they put Chris, they literally no. I've been watching this show for years. I have never seen them. They put blessed with cash money signs, cash dollar signs. So they knew what kind of jerk Chris was from the get-go. So I'm sorry, but Chris should not. See, my hair keeps getting stuck. Yeah. Chris's application should have been thrown out.
Yeah.
Period.
Anyway, I don't think even experts, no matter who it is you put together, there's always gonna be fights. We're human. We make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. So I think with that being said,
I'm tired. Yes. I'm still in my work clothes. Mm-hmm. So,
yep.
Deuces.
Bye, guys. See you next week.